What is up, guys? It's your boy, Rick. I will build a time machine to play the Witch Queen early. Cacus here. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button to support the channel, and let me know what you think my next intro should be. That comment section, it's like the Wild West out there. Alright, today, what we're gonna do is be taking a look at a bunch of different exotic armor pieces that you really want to pay attention to in the lead up and just after the launch of the Witch Queen expansion for Destiny 2. And that's because all of the exotic armor we're going to look at today affects specifically Void Subclasses. And we know for a fact that Bungie is remaking Void Subclasses in the Witch Queen to match the design of Stasis Subclasses. That's right, you're going to be able to play a Void Warlock, for example, and that's going to have aspects and fragments, which means Void Subclasses are getting substantially more powerful in the Witch Queen. I think a lot of people are underestimating this, but imagine now, guys, you are literally going to be able to take the most powerful Void abilities from all three of the different subclasses and put them together into one mega subclass designed exactly around how you play. If that sounds insane, it's because it is, and so therefore these exotics are likely to become huge parts of the meta moving forward. So let's start here by taking a look at the Titan exotics. First one is one I use all the time, guys, the Helm of Saint 14. So this is going to make enemies that enter your Ward of Dawn blind, while allies that pass through will gain an overshield, and also guarding with the Sentinel Shield blinds nearby enemies. So this is already one of the best exotics to run in PvE if you're a bubble titan, but in the Witch Queen, the Ward of Dawn is actually becoming its own super, so never again will you fat finger and accidentally be in Sentinel when you meant to cast your bubble. And that also means that the bubble is being moved to the highest super regeneration tier, tying the Well of Radiance. So you're gonna get your Ward of Dawn way more often than you do right now in the Witch Queen, so expect the Helm to go up in value significantly. Moving on from there, we have the URSA FURIOSA. This says, move faster while guarding when Sentinel Shield is active. Guarded damage converts to super energy when the super ends. So this is already top tier in endgame content. I use it in Grandmasters all the time, and potentially letting you spec even more into Banner Shield within the Witch Queen and have even more benefits for using it could make this thing even better. Also, just getting your super back is always really good. Moving on from there, we actually have one of the newer ones, no backup plans. So when you have full melee energy, shotgun final blows activate your defensive strike and consume your melee energy. Shotgun final blows also give you melee energy. So this isn't super meta right now, but if you actually have a build surrounding this, it's pretty darn good, especially that last part. Shotgun final blows will give you melee energy. So if you are in the Witch Queen and using aspects and fragments to build a melee class and getting your melee back all the time, this could be the final puzzle piece in making that very good. Moving on from there, the next one we have, guys, is the Doomfang Pauldrons, an OG one back with vanilla D2. It says, void melee kills give you super energy. While Sentinel Shield is active, melee kills recharge shield throw, which extends your super on hits. So if you're using these, everyone mostly is doing so that you can throw shield after shield after shield, and your super is going to last a ridiculously long time. It can be really fun in a lot of activities. However, that other part where melee kills give you super energy, the exact same thing applies to the no backup plans we looked at. If you're making like a Void melee build, wow, every time you get a melee kill, you get super energy. That sounds pretty darn useful to me. And so again, the Doomfangs could slot right into that hypothetical build. However, guys, it is time to move on from there to the Warlock. So the first one we got here, I'm cheating a little bit because it isn't specifically involving the Void subclasses, but it's the NEZAREC'S. This helmet says, Void damage kills increase ability energy recharge rate. So of course, if you're running a Void subclass, especially if you're speccing and crafting that build into ability usage, you're throwing void grenades, you're using your void melee, that all counts as void damage, and that's going to refund those abilities. I would expect the NEZAREC'S to be just an easy slot in to a lot of Void subclass builds in the Witch Queen. Next up, however, we have the ASTROCYTE verse. So this says blink farther and more frequently. Weapon readies quickly out of blink and radar remains up. So blink is actually a void ability. You only get access to it if you're playing the Void Warlock. So this potentially could be really nasty if we get some aspects and potentially fragments that give even more abilities to your blink, right? Like as soon as blink becomes really, really good, this becomes like an absolutely meta exotic. They're tied together. So again, I would keep your eye on this one. However, it's time to move on from there to our next exotic, the Skull of Dire AHAMKARA. So this says provides additional damage resistance during Nova Bomb, and Nova Bomb kills grant super energy. So this used to be the meta exotic back with, I don't know if you guys remember, the Reckoning activity with Season of the Drifter. You would just Nova Bomb everything and instantly get your super back. It's since been nerfed and only gives around 50% of your super back, but still, if Nova Bomb gets better and if there's certain aspects and fragments that can potentially refund super energy as well, you could combine it with the Skull to really start chaining Nova Bombs again and again and again. Not to mention that in the Witch Queen, you're going to be able to pick that Cataclysm Nova Bomb, but then also use aspects that give you, Devour and other crazy perks. So that's just going to be so good with this thing. Moving on from there, guys, we have the CONTRAVERSE hold. So that says resist incoming damage while charging your Void Grenade with Chaos Accelerant, Feed the Void, or Handheld Supernova. Charged Void Grenades return an amount of grenade energy on a hit. So these are just going to slot in perfectly if you're designing any sort of Void Grenadier build, that you pick the perfect aspects, the perfect fragments that give you all of the discipline, all of the grenade energy back possible, and then you just put on these things. They're going to be perfect for that. However, guys, it is time to move on from there to the last Warlock exotic we're looking at, the Nothing Manacles. So these say you gain an additional scatter grenade charge and it enables tracking for your scatter grenade projectiles. So again, in that hypothetical Grenadier build, if you are choosing to pick scatter grenades specifically, even just gaining the second one can be so darn useful, but also potentially buffing it as well with the tracking, so these things could be pretty saucy. Moving on from there to the Hunter, the first exotic we have here is the Graviton Forfeit. So this increases the duration of any invisibility effects. While you are invisible, your melee recharges faster, your weapons reload faster, and your recovery is greatly increased. So again, similar to Blink on the Warlock, invisibility is a void-specific ability of the Hunter. So you're potentially going to have aspects that are going to increase your invisibility, provide you invisibility for doing certain things, and so the Graviton Forfeit isn't seeing any play right now, but you could potentially even have like an invisibility build you put together in the Witch Queen, in which case this thing becomes very desirable. Moving on from there, guys, we then have the KHEPRI'S Sting. So this says punching someone with a full melee energy will instantly cast Smoke Bomb. Gain True Sight while in your own Smoke Bomb effect. Your Smoke Bombs deal increased damage. So I mean, this slots perfectly into a Hunter melee build revolving around the Smoke Bomb. Heck, we might even get an aspect that gives you 2 Smoke Bombs, which would make this thing absolutely nutty. Anything that increases a certain ability, Smoke Bombs, grenades, your super, whatever, we've seen how powerful that's been with stasis subclasses, so expect the same to carry over with Void. However, moving on from there, guys, the next exotic we have here is the OMNIOCULUS. So this is going to give you a second Smoke Bomb charge and you have damage resistance while invisible. When you make an ally invisible, they gain damage resistance while invisible, and you gain melee energy. The OMNIOCULUS is one of the best exotics in the game for Grandmaster Nightfalls, for hunters to use, and again, being able to have that Void build specifically designed around using your smoke bombs even more, this would slot in very, very well. Next up, guys, we have the GWISIN vest. So this says each spectral blade's kill you make before going into stealth will restore your super energy. So just massively extending your super, and again, this could be very good if you're able to craft a build around spectral blades or gaining super energy so you can get your spectral blades very fast. Obviously, this is going to slot in great with that. And then, guys, the last exotic we're looking at today is the ORPHEUS rig. So this says provides ability energy for each enemy tethered by deadfall anchors, and Mobius Quiver has more shots. Now, interestingly, we do know that Mobius Quiver is actually going away. It's being redesigned within the Witch Queen, so now the hunter will just shoot a ton of different arrows, like an arrow barrage at once. So potentially this will make that more powerful. And I mean, we've seen with things like the Cuirass of the Falling Star that just increase the damage of a certain super, those can be really, really powerful. This might end up like that for the new redesigned Mobius Quiver. And again, just getting your super energy back for using your tether. Like, I still use these things quite a bit. They're still very darn good. And guys, that is going to be it for the video. Keep an eye on all these exotics and just think of all the build crafting ideas when you finally get access to the redesigned Void subclasses within the Witch Queen. I hope you enjoyed this video, found it informative, and if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickKakis. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.